It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
The good news is that they were finally able to culture this silly urinary tract infection and create the proper antibiotic for it. The bad news is they were able to culture this thing and create the antibiotic, and it kicked me on my butt yesterday. I've got to take it for five days. So anyway, I can't say I'm better, but at least we're heading in the right direction. I still feel utterly like crap. This is as uncomfortable as I've felt through most of my health issues. Okay, so let's take a look at the weather. Of course, yesterday was just a massive day in Jamaica. I was a Category 4 storm. Category 5 storm was Category 5 for over 12 hours. And that just pounded Jamaica. A lot of it, we don't even know the amount of damage yet, as there are areas that we won't get to for several days. Currently, Melissa is now offshore of East Cuba in the southwestern Atlantic. Damaging winds, flooding rains continue for Cuba, the Bahamas, and a dangerous storm surge expected in the Bahamas today. All right, so this is going to be nasty for a while. It will eventually blow off into the wild blue yonder, but it's going to take a while, guys. This is not going to be a quick deal, but hopefully by tomorrow, it'll be behind us. Let's hope that's the case, at least.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness has declared Jamaica a disaster area after Hurricane Melissa barreled across the Caribbean island as one of the most powerful storms on record, leaving behind a trail of devastation. The hurricane, which made landfall as a Category 5 storm on Tuesday, ripped off the roofs of homes, inundated the nation's breadbasket, and felled power lines and trees, leaving most of its 2.8 million people without electricity. Melissa took hours to cross over Jamaica, a passage over land that diminished its winds, dropping it down to a Category 3 storm, before it ramped back up as it continued on Wednesday towards Cuba. Holness said in a series of posts on X that the storm has ravaged his country and the disaster declaration gives his government tools to continue managing its response to the storm. It is clear that where the eye of the hurricane hit, there would be devastating impact, he told the United States news channel CNN late on Tuesday. Reports we have had so far include damage to hospitals, significant damage to residential property, housing and commercial property as well, and damage to our road infrastructure. Holness said he does not have any confirmed reports of deaths at the moment. But with a Category 5 hurricane, we are expecting some loss of life, he added. The Prime Minister said his government was mobilizing quickly to start relief and recovery efforts by Wednesday morning. Even before Melissa slammed into Jamaica, 7 deaths, 3 in Jamaica, 3 in Haiti and 1 in the Dominican Republic, were caused by the hurricane. Calabasas, California, AMAWaterways, a leader in luxury river cruising, has announced a new partnership with Mandarin Oriental, one of the world's most prestigious names in hospitality. Together, the two brands are introducing a collection of exclusive pre- and post-cruise land programs designed for travelers seeking the highest levels of comfort, personalization, and cultural immersion. For information, email chillie@bookalaska.net. The Santorini Beach Club will welcome passengers from both Royal Caribbean International and Celebrity Cruises, combining the iconic Greek island's volcanic beaches with the company's signature experiences and authentic local culture. Guests will enjoy an ultimate Santorini day that includes exploring the famous whitewashed buildings and blue-domed churches in Oia, along with strolling through shops, cafes and art galleries in Fira. Royal Caribbean Group is bringing its Royal Beach Club concept to Europe for the first time with Royal Beach Club Santorini, set to open in summer 2026. A crew member of a P&O cruise ship has tragically died following an accident on board. Maritime authorities confirmed that accident took place in a lift shaft, while the vessel was 2 days into a transatlantic voyage. The fatal incident took place on the vessel Arvia on Sunday, October 26, 2025. While the ship was sailing from Southampton, UK. Arvia was sailing toward its first scheduled port of call in Tenerife when the accident happened. P&O Cruises confirmed the death of the unnamed crew member, issuing a statement expressing their deepest condolences. A crew member of a P&O cruise.
I would also say that I heard from someone on Arvia and reiterate our thoughts to the family and crew of the deceased individual.
The MSC Preziosa opened the 2025-26 cruise season at the Brazilian port of Santos on Sunday. Concluding a transatlantic crossing that departed from Germany, the vessel also marked the opening of the national season in Brazil. If you get tired from walking too far, get a scooter. It's the only way to go. Are you planning a trip to Anaheim or LA in the next few months? It's a great time of the year to visit Southern California, with mild temperatures and seasonal Halloween and Christmas events at Disneyland. Anaheim and LA rentals are 15% off. Book by November 30th, 2025. Reserve online. Call 1-888-441-7575. Use SRN 11137 or email chillie@bookalaska.net. Vision of the Seas skipped her visit to Sydney, Nova Scotia on Tuesday, due to bad weather. High winds and waves are impacting the region, and the ship will instead overnight in Halifax. The impacted sailing is the ship's October 23 departure, but her return to Baltimore on November 1st is unaffected. A guest was found deceased on Lizard Island after being accidentally left behind by a coral expeditions ship. The female guest had been hiking but separated from her group to rest and failed to return to the ship. The cause of death has not been confirmed, but her body was located more than 150 feet from the trail. A crew member went overboard from Viking Star in the Aegean Sea in the late morning of Monday. The cruise ship assisted search efforts but has been released by the Italian Coast Guard to resume her sailing. The crew member's identity has not been released at this time, but the cruise line is offering support. Carnival Cruise Line will homeport 4 different ships in Australia and New Zealand in 2027-2028. Homeports include Auckland, Melbourne, and Adelaide seasonally plus Sydney and Brisbane year-round. Carnival Adventure, Encounter, Luminosa, and Splendor will all offer different itineraries and destinations. To book Australian cruises, email chillie@bookalaska.net. A group of Samoan crew members working onboard MSC Splendida came to the rescue of 19 migrants in distress while sailing off the coast of Majorca, Spain. Cruise tracking data shows that the rescue took place approximately 20 nautical miles off Cabrera in the Balearic Islands, which is not far off Majorca's southern coast. The ship responded to a distress call, and upon arrival, found several of the refugees in an overcrowded boat in choppy seas. Some had already fallen into the open ocean and were struggling to stay afloat. Thankfully, all 19 of the refugees, who hailed from the Maghreb region of North Africa, were saved and tended to by the MSC crew members. On American Cruise Line's American Revolution cruise, discover the quaint towns and historic cities that have shaped our nation. Step onto the last battlefield of the Revolutionary War in Yorktown and explore the rich colonial history of Jamestown. Visit the location of the Wright brothers' first successful powered flight in 1903 and experience the 18th century city of Colonial Williamsburg, the world's largest living history museum. Travel to Mount Vernon, George Washington's iconic 18th century home, before returning to our nation's capital to view the many museums and memorials. Free airfare and a $1,200 savings on this 12-day cruise. For more information, email chillie@bookalaska.net.
Hey, and I just saw that Roger's in the chat room, which reminds me that I skipped something this morning. I should not have done that. And that is, today is National Cat Day. We got to honor the critters today. Mine are so excited about it. Can't you tell? Haven't you seen them jump on the set? Haven't seen them. So anyway, it's National Cat Day. Also in 1811, the first Ohio River steamboat leaves Pittsburgh for New Orleans. And neither Roger nor I was on it. Just saying, folks. If you're listening via the podcast, you can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and up pops the old fat guy. All right, that's going to actually put an end to the news portion of today's show. So let's go see who is in the chat room today fussing at me. Joanne is with us. And once again, I still have no idea. I've sent messages, 2 of them now, to StreamYard trying to figure out why I'm getting these numbers all of a sudden. And why some people have them, some don't. Todd's with us. Good morning, Todd. There's Hot Air Tom. Wonder how Nestor is behaving today. Well, Nestor did not behave yesterday at all. That was matter of fact, I couldn't even do the podcast yesterday. So I just scrapped it. Now today seems to be fine. Why did that happen yesterday? I have no idea. Gretchen's with us. Hi, Gretchen, out in Ohio. I was talking about you last night, Gretchen, and your party that I didn't make it to. There's Katie. Katie's got the numbers too. Hi, Katie. Bob's with us. Good morning, Bob. Have a good day, he says. Rogers. Sam and Roger sail from Jacksonville for the first time on Monday. That's awesome. I didn't have a problem with sailing from Jacksonville. I'd like to do it again, especially now that there's more than just one ship in there. Kenneth's with us. Hey, good morning, everybody. How are you feeling, Chillie? Hopefully better. Kenneth, I am, and thank you, Kenneth and Robin, for the cutting board and tumblers. That was great. I always appreciate that. All right, guys. You can probably tell I'm not overly energetic today. So that's going to put an end to today's show. I will definitely be back here on Friday. I hope. So, and maybe I'll start feeling better by then. In the meantime, guys, thanks for being with me. Don't forget, smash that thumbs up button. And as always, stay safe, stay healthy, think about cruising, and hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you on Friday.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.